Mr.
There's a lot
Pete.
going on, Mr. Lee.
I was jangly and fun.
Very jangly.
Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, Pete and I are still sitting in different rooms.
Upstairs, downstairs.
Upstairs, downstairs, yes, trying to observe a little bit of social distancing. So, yeah, it's just me and Pete today. Very simple setup. One camera on me, one on Pete. Me in one room, Pete in another.
Yeah. I've got the wide angle lens on mine.
Have you? Connected by the power of headphones.
Yep.
So yeah, slightly different guitar rigs as well. So we're trying to keep it normal. So we've got normal pedals into normal amps, but everything is then run into, I've got an aux box, Pete's got a tube amp expander. So there's no noise in the rooms as such, just headphones.
Headphones. And if you see me looking that way over there, that's because I'm looking at the iMac recording this whole thing. So just...
Yes.
That's what it is.
So I can see Pete on a screen just to the right of the camera. So if I look this way, it kind of looks like I'm going, "Hey, Pete!"
Hey, high five! Ugh.
Did that work?
Yeah, that was too far in.
Sorry,
you got into me.
Hang on. Basically, this is how cheap...
Oh, we can't do it.
I've got a broken TV screen up here. So once I put my hand here, I can't see it. So I can only see it. Maybe we could do like a low five. I could see that one. There you go. So... Right, you may have seen already a couple of videos that Pete and I have done. We did a Jazzmaster walkthrough. So what's the kind of history of the Jazzmaster and what's the current Fender lineup got there? Then we did a Jaguar one.
Jaguar.
Which was one of the first videos we did in this kind of isolation mode.
It's like a Tiger King, Jaguar King.
Jaguar.
Did he have Jaguars? Did you see the Tiger King?
I haven't yet. I'm going to watch it when I finish
you
watching
have to.
Ozark.
It's awesome.
And Killing Eve and...
yes, Killing Eve is bad.
And Homeland. So,
yes.
Back in 1956, that's right, when Pete was only 6 years old.
Yeah, look at me now. I do look 70 at the moment.
Let's put my tune on. The concept really... so Fender are killing it, right? They've got Telecasters and Stratocasters and they're taking over the world. I think maybe even has the P-Bass come out by then? I think potentially it has. They're taking over the world. Hugely popular guitars. But they didn't really have anything for students. And this is prior to the sort of idea of going off to the Far East to make more affordable guitars. So all you could really do was make a guitar in the same factory as you're making all the other ones, but just try and make a simpler one, a cheaper one. And so the Duo Sonic, this is not a 1956 Duo Sonic. This is from the modern catalogue. So you'll have to forgive a few bits and bobs that look a bit different. Maybe on screen now, if we're very clever, we'll put a picture of what an old vintage Duo Sonic looks like. But you can see they made the body smaller. Let's see if I can get this to fit all on screen. You can see they made the body smaller, made it thinner body. They only put 2 pickups on it. There's no tremolo system. It's just a hard tail. And again, although that was slightly different on the original ones, it was still a hardtail. And then I believe, there are different variants of these. I believe, again, the control layout was pretty much the same as this. So a 3-way switch, volume and a tone, plug your guitar in, boom.
Super easy.
These were short scale. So the idea here, bear in mind, this is 8 years before the Jaguar came along. 8 years or 6 years, or certainly a few years before the Jaguar came along. So I guess the concept here was a shorter scale, so from here to here, and designed, I guess, for smaller players. So don't necessarily think there was, the idea again of making it shorter scale. It would be more comfortable for younger players. It would make the strings easier to bend, all that kind of stuff. And from what I understand, I don't know if this goes all the way back to Duo Sonic, but again, in the early days, there were 2 variants. There was a 24-inch scale length, 22 fret version, and then an even shorter scale length, 21 fret version. Don't believe the really short scale ones have ever been reissued. So this is the Duo Sonic. I thought we'd start here because we're really doing a Mustang video, but the Duo Sonic was kind of where it all began. So here's a Duo Sonic, and I'm not going to spend too long on this. This is really just a bit of history for you. Pretty Fender-y kind of sounding, really lightweight. And I guess, back in the day would have been an ideal place for a beginner to start. But
Yeah.
so in 1964,
Oh, sorry.
the Mustang appeared, and it replaced the Duo Sonic and the Music Master, which was the other affordable guitar that Fender had in the range.
Music Master.
And the Mustang, for some reason, has been the only one that's really stayed in the Fender catalogue. Not entirely, it's definitely had times when it was out the catalogue, but generally speaking, it stayed in the catalogue, and it's been the one that Fender will typically run at different pricing, so you can get Squier versions and Mexican versions and American versions and all that kind of stuff. And if I'm honest with you, not entirely convinced what it was about the Mustang rather than the Duo Sonic that kind of captured the imagination. But this is what our video is today. Have we got 4 or 5 Mustangs? How many you got?
I've got 3, but I've got one here with some P90s on it as well.
Well, I've got 2, so we'll go in ascending order. So we'll start with the dearest one.
Okay,
so
sounds good.
Unlike the Jaguar and Jazzmaster videos that we've shot recently, there isn't an American original or an American professional version of a Mustang. It starts, the most expensive and the only American one is the American Performer.
Yeah.
So this is, again, it's the same body dimensions as the Mustang we showed you before. So it's small, light, thin, has a short scale 24-inch neck on it. Again, the quality of the neck is the same as you would get on a normal Performer. So it feels great, satin finish. I got a rosewood board on this. Vintage style machine heads, the best machine heads that Fender have ever made, as we keep saying. Poke the string in, wind it on, no need for locking.
Poke it in and wind it on.
2 single coil pickups.
Why are they covered? Is that a thing, or is it?
Why can't you see the pole pieces on them? That's a good question. Fender?
Because I was wondering.
I wonder if that's just cheap. You know, knowing Leo Fender, always an eye to save 5p here and there. I bet you these plastic covers are probably just cheaper to do without the holes poking through them. But
maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's a look thing. I don't know.
So now the big thing that the Mustang had on was this really basic concept of a trem system on it that the Duo Sonic didn't have, as far as I understand. Now, sadly, good old, in the rush to make this video, try as we might, we couldn't find the tremolo one for this. But if you see where that white hole is by my little finger, there's a little nylon kind of thread that obviously I don't think the original Mustangs would have had the nylon in there, but an arm just pushes in here, and it's pretty rudimentary. If I pull the arm back, I'll pull the bridge back. Now, and if I push the arm down, there isn't much to go downwards. It's pretty flat, but a little bit. And all the strings do is they poke through this way, they wrap underneath, round, over the saddles, and up to the tuners. It's about the most basic kind of a concept of a trem system that you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
The bridge is the floating style, so that can move very slightly back and forth. And as I said, we've just got volume and tones. So here we go with some tones from the Mustang with no pedals on at all. Mustang Performer. Middle. And bridge. I think it sounds cheap.
Well, it is cheap.
I kind of think it's got maybe cheap, like as in it doesn't sound as big sounding as its more expensive counterparts like the Strat or the Tele, and I wonder if that was intentional or
should it be sounding like that? You got a Tele and you got a Strat, and then you got a Jazzmaster and a Jaguar, and then you got a Mustang.
I'll put a bit of dirt on it. think with the dirt on it, and actually I've got a compressor here, I can sort of boost it up a bit. So I think if you've got some pedals, you can get a sound out of this. Performer Series is this sort of satin finish, which I really like as well.
It's cool, isn't it?
I like the feel of it, and I like the vibe of it. And it comes in a couple of different colours, which will appear on screen now.
Has it got a satin finish neck on it, Lee?
Yep.
I can't touch it, can I?
The neck is literally, if you've played a Fender Performer Series, anything, Strat, Telly, whatever, that's the vibe of the neck. It's a nice feeling neck, little bit of rolling on the edges, but not heavily. Normal frets. I mean, I don't know what would have been on originally on these. I wonder if they'd have had skinnier frets originally. Most like old Fenders did.
Tall, skinny frets.
But these just feel like the normal frets you'd get on an American Fender. So there we are.
Yeah.
One Mustang. Performer Series is about £800, £800 to £900, something like that. Might be a bit more than that.
I think it's around 900 quid, I think they are.
So I guess, this is probably not entry level anymore, at that kind of price. This would be more of a fan for someone who's like a fan of, perhaps they had a guitar hero of theirs that played the Mustang, and that's the kind of vibe they want to get. But it's kind of cool.
It's very cool.
The next one down, I'm going to hand over to Pete now.
Yeah.
Because you've got a Vintera model.
I've got the Vintera model. So this is probably what I was saying in the beginning. It's probably the most accurately reconstructed, or what do you want to say?
Yes.
From the old ones, in the way that it's got.
Well, you've got the correct switching.
You've got the correct switching,
Yeah.
which is a bit confusing, but I'll try my best. It's got the white.
The button tuners.
Button tuners up here. It's got like the vintage tinted neck that all the Vintera guitars got. It's got the tremolo. This one though has got a screw-in arm.
Oh right.
Yeah, so this screws in there, which makes it quite.
But is it the same bar?
Yeah, it's the same.
So you just
it
rock
says
the
dynamic
bar.
Fender vibrato on it. So does it say that on yours? Dynamic Fender vibrato.
It doesn't say anything on mine.
No, so on mine it says, you probably can't see it, but it says there, in Lake Placid blue with a lovely pearl. It looks great,
Yeah.
We've got the Parfero board on here.
More jangly than the
It's a bit more jangly. So,
do you know what? I think I should just say that when I took the Performer off display, the strings felt a little bit like they needed some TLC. So I put a new set of Mega Slinkies onto it, and the Mega Slinky is the 10.5 to 48 gauge. Because I just thought, because it's a short scale guitar, I thought I'll go a bit heavier. But I might wonder if I regret that now, whether or not somehow the slinkiness of it is lost by going for the heavier strings.
I mean, it says it comes with 10s on the Fender website. So I'll have to.
Half a gauge shouldn't have made any real difference.
Maybe. Okay, so the main attraction, if you will, on this guitar is these like three. It's got like a 3-click selector, 2 of them up here. 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3. Right in the middle, there's nothing. Right. Volume, tone. Volume all the way up. Front, that's on. So the front pickup is now on. Same with the back, on. If it's behind here, still the same. It shouldn't be any difference. You say you can hear it, yeah.
Well, in my headphones, because I know what it's doing. It's switched forward. You've got the pickup wound, like positive and negative this way round.
Yeah.
And then when you switch back, it's the same pickup, but just wired back to front, which it's just like changing the phase switch on an acoustic guitar. It's a very subtle difference. But
in my ears, I can hardly tell.
Really? See, in my headphones, one has got more bass end than the other.
But let us know. Can you hear the difference between this out there in YouTube land? If you close your eyes,
it's a little bit.
You close your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
But that's not the point though, really.
It's not the point.
But,
So the point is that if you have both of them forward, they're both pickups are on. Both of the pickups are now on. Or backward. If you then push both of them in like that, so it looks like somebody who's got eyes like that a little bit.
Well, now you've got one wired going effectively positive to negative one way around, and the other wired.
Yeah.
The other, so they'll now be out of phase.
Yeah.
So.
It's got the crack, and if you move them both,
it's the same
like
thing, isn't it?
So what you could do. So it's almost like you bring in you bring in the full pickup, or you bring in the the out of phase pickup, or you take it out.
And I think that's some
of
the most classic. That out of phase sound is some of the most classic sort of Mustang and Jaguar kind of tones. Because it's cool how you can do that on that guitar.
It is really cool. At the same time, of course, you got your tone and your volume down there. But the cool thing is, if you like playing, let's just see if we can. I mean, I think it sounds great.
And the Vintera spec'd guitars from Fender out of Mexico, they are generally close to the original spec of the guitars, but for a more affordable price.
It's great. I mean, the fingerboard feels great. It's the same sort of
but lacquered neck,
lacquered
though, right?
neck. Yeah, that sort of. It's just a great guitar. It's got the Mustang bridge on there, so your strings won't roll off, and it does take a little getting used to.
Was the tremolo system terribly effective?
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
That's great. I'm impressed.
I don't know how much it does, like, if I do.
Great.
That's not bad for straight out the box.
Bad.
I mean, I got the box over here.
So, okay. I mean, I much prefer that over the Performer model.
Absolutely. No, I would take this.
Let's check colours on the screen now, because I know it'll come in different colours. Pretty sure Vintera comes with a gig bag rather than a hard case.
It comes with a gig bag.
And these are what, 600-ish or
something like that, something around that mark. Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Isn't it cool?
I like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And it looks great, man.
So now that we've got next in the range are two models from the Fender Player series. Pete's got one, I've got the other. So Pete's got the P91, I've got the single coil one. They are the same guitar with different colours. There's a great selection of colours in these.
This is great, isn't it?
Yeah, you got the burgundy mist, I've got like the Aztec gold, but there's loads of other cool colours. The main thing with these is we're going back to a very simple hardtail strung through the body system. So still with 6 individual saddles. Yeah. It's a hardtail Strat system.
Yeah.
Satin finish maple neck with a, I think again, Palfero board. Possibly depending on the colour you go for. In fact, not even possibly, definitely depending on the colour you go for will depend on whether you get a maple or a Palfero fretboard. I'll just.
It's worth mentioning the neck is 725 as well.
Is it even on Player?
No, on the Vintera.
Oh, on Vintera, yeah. I think Player is
with the
9
and
a quarter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or 9.5. Sorry, 9.5.
9.5.
So Player will be more like a modern Strat feel. Vintera will be a little bit more like a vintage. So I'll quickly do my 3 sounds, and then Pete can do his 3 sounds, and maybe we show you some distortion and stuff as well. But
let's have it. Nice
colours
fretboard
on the screen now for the single coil ones. Neck pickup. Middle. Bridge. Distortion. You are massively louder in my ears than I am, so I hope
you couldn't hear yourself. Yeah,
I hope we can balance that out.
Something
in
we will.
Edit.
We will.
But yes, so this is mine. Feels not really nice to play. Really like. I can completely see how this has become kind of a cult classic.
Yeah.
I don't even know necessarily this is a beginner's guitar anymore, is it? It just becomes something that it might suit your style. Maybe smaller guitars are more comfy for you. Maybe you just like that slightly anti-hero kind of vibe of the Mustang.
Anti-hero, that's a good word.
Cool. Very cool.
It's a good word.
Anyway, tell us about the P90 one,
I mean,
Pete.
it's the same one. It's just the P90s in there. Still, it's got the Palfero board. It's got the satin finished neck. It's got the Fender tuners on the back there. Made in Mexico. Nice satin, a burgundy finish. 4-bolt on the back. Little sticker that says "Don't throw in the bin." And you know, and the difference between the P90s is there's more volume in them. You know.
Oh.
So that's the back. It's really. I'm not going to turn it down a little bit.
So if you, again, Pete and I were lucky enough to go to a brilliant pickup maker called Monty's recently, who explained how a P90 is different to a single coil.
Yeah.
And it's to do with where the magnet is in the pickup. So proper single coils, the 6 pole pieces are actually magnetized, and then the copper's wound like that. On a P90, the pole pieces aren't magnetized, but a big bar magnet sits underneath it, which kind of creates the magnetic field, and the copper's wound around the pole pieces as normal.
Sounds
but yes,
good.
Generally speaking, a P90 is a fatter, louder version of a single coil.
I mean, it sounds great.
It sounds.
Middle position.
How are you finding the short scaleness of it? I think, generally speaking, they are a bit less stable in terms of tuning than the 25.5-inch scale length Fenders.
And you know what? It doesn't feel like a shorter guitar because the body is quite long, right? So the body is actually, from here to here, I reckon it's more or less the same as a Telecaster, at least. So when you got your arm over and it doesn't have the armrest, which means that
it's thinner, isn't it? Though,
this
that
bit
way.
here, it's that from, and also it feels like this whole bit is a bit further. You have to have your arm in a bit more, and your arm further. It's just a bit. It's a different way of sitting with it. It's not, and it's not very balanced. You see what I mean?
I love that colour. Oh yeah, it's not as balanced as what were we trying the other day that was super balanced? Although was it the PRS or something?
The PRS guitars, but
like I don't know, it's not that.
No, it's top heavy.
A little bit top heavy, isn't it? Yeah.
And I'm even leaning it on.
Do you see? I mean, what we're saying by that, if you're not, ideally, what you kind of want for comfort is the guitar to fairly naturally hang on a strap or on your lap in that position.
Because if you're sitting,
and the bigger headstock on this does just make it want to slide over, but not. I mean, like once you got your arm here, it's so.
Yeah, it's not a problem, but you still have to hold it up with your arm. So there's, here's a bit of gain. It's fat. That front pickup is fat, isn't it? Middle. Very spanky. And then on the bridge. That seems less output in the back bridge.
I noticed that on this one. It was like the neck pickup was fatter sounding, wasn't it? But
I'm not sure. I'm not personally so keen on this, I must admit. The colour, I absolutely love it. The colour I love.
I just think it's a vibe. It's got a vibe to it.
No, I agree.
And that's what I meant by the anti-hero kind of comment. It's like there's a reason the Strat and the Telly have been so popular. It's because they're such great instruments.
I agree.
But the Mustang, to a certain extent, it's cool. And it almost sort of says, I'm not doing what all you lot are doing. I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah. And they're very affordable. They're fairly,
these are about 500, aren't they, I think?
Yeah. And it's, for value for money, it's a great guitar.
Now, talking of value for money, every single one of these videos we end up with the classic vibe version. Now, Squier classic vibe is, I guess, a bit like Vintera in a way. It's trying to do stuff that's a little bit more authentic to the original vibe. Super affordable, like crazy affordable. And the color on this is just to die for.
There is one in the American, isn't there, like this color as well?
I think it's more graffiti yellow. There's like an American Performer version, but it's more...
This is just...
It's wicked.
With the tainted neck there. It's got the tortoise scratch plate. If you're looking at this, that's just the plastic that's kind of peeling off.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got a little, can't see it, but down here's a little Allen key. So when you put your arm in.
There's no trem system on that then?
There is a trem system.
It is. That is. So you got the same bar trem system that you had on the Vintera.
Yes, right. But in Vintera's a screw in. This one is you put it in and then you have to tighten it up with an Allen key, I believe. Still got the same little Mustang bridge there, and the pickups. This is just the one. You know what I mean?
And what is that? Like 300 quid or something?
369.
369. That's weird, isn't it? So that they're actually dearer than, I might check that. It sounds like the price might be dearer than the Jaguars and Jazzmasters, which doesn't sound right. But maybe whatever. I'll check that price.
But there could be more work going into this. There's a bit more things going on. Maybe there's not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And although we haven't got one here because it's kind of not really Mustang vibe other than the outline of it. Maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe it is Mustang vibe. But there is a crazy good value Mustang Bullet guitar, which we've done a separate video on actually. So you can just, if you want to type in Squier Bullet Mustang, and those are like 150 quid each, and they're wicked as well. But anyway, Pete.
I really
take us through some tones on this.
I think this is very cool. Is this Laurel? I think it might be Laurel.
Yes,
fingerboard.
I think you're right. Pete came, we were talking in the previous, in the Jaguar video, and Pete was saying, you know what you could do here? You could literally buy one of every classic vibe. So you could have a Strat, a Telly, a Jaguar, a Jazzmaster, a Mustang.
Yeah, I didn't even think about this.
I think they do thin line Tellys, you could buy all of them. You could take every single one to like a good guitar luthier technician or whatever, and just go, look, spend like 150, 200 quid on each one, change the pickups, pots, whatever, just give them the full
setup,
deluxe setup, everything. And you could have one of like every Fender guitar that there was for sort of $2,000, couldn't you?
Probably, yeah. I mean, the Strat Telly, Mustang, not Mustang, Strat Telly, Jazzmaster, and Jaguar, they were like 1,400 quid.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. But then you spend do a bit of money on each one. But yeah, it's a great shout.
It's if you just want one of each and they're not where they're made or whatever. Yeah. Because these are super value for money.
I do. I think they play really, really good.
And it sounds great. Here we go. I'm just going to turn it up a bit. Okay, so here we go. So here's some tones. So again, you've got the same system, switcheroonie up here. So when
Switcheroonie? He used to play for Man United, didn't he?
Yeah, you could. Neck. Bridge. Oh! Sounds great, man. And I'm going to do a little quickly A-B switch on that. I think I would just switch those two. And then a little bit of gain from the Durple. Oh, I'm confused. I mean, it feels great to play. It's so much similar. I think if it was a
jump between the Vintera and the classic vibe.
Yeah. Okay.
Because bearing in mind the Vintera is like 300 quid more, is it worth it?
What's on the? Let's go on the neck.
Bit fuller maybe sounding, but I thought the classic vibe was definitely brighter and louder, I think.
That's louder.
That sounds great.
Sounds great, man.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Same, I'm not changing anything. I'm literally just putting the
classic vibe is just bonkers. Bonkers good. If you want a good, not too expensive guitar, doesn't matter whether you want Strat, Telly, whatever, Jazzmaster, Jaguar, Mustang, check out Classic Vibe. They're always good.
Go back over here.
Man.
300 and something quid.
That colour is amazing.
Maybe there's a little bit, it's more clarity in those pickups.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe these strings could do with a change at some point.
But that's the whole thing that's what I was saying with Classic Vibe. Okay, so you change all the pots and you change the pickups and you spend 150, 200 pounds on it and it's...
yeah, I don't think you have to change the pickups for it.
Did we show the colours of the Mustang? Apologies if we haven't yet, but here on the screen now are the colours of the Classic Vibe Mustang.
It is.
Anyway, there we are. Brilliant. So look, Mustang video.
This is my pick.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a particular.
But you haven't played any of these, so you can't really.
I'm not allowed downstairs to get one, just in case we come within 2 meters contact of each other. Yeah, I think you got all the ones that I would like in that particular video.
I know.
I don't know.
There we go.
I mean, maybe look, whatever. I mean, let's just jam out on. Did I have this one at the beginning? No, I think I had the.
Yeah.
I did have this one at the beginning. You're totally right. So
I can't remember that
neither
now.
can I. I'm going to go back to the Performer.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. Us rambling on, upstairs, downstairs, Mustang guitars.
Upstairs, downstairs. Absolutely.
Upstairs, downstairs. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all stay safe and well out there in the world. Be careful. Love each other.
Yes.
See ya.
What he said.